What's up, guys? It's your boy Zowoki back out with another Chris Watts video. But by a viewer of mine had mentioned I needed to look into this person, which I've never heard to this day, which is kind of shocking because apparently this woman was like big in the scene in the beginning of the Chris Watts case. But Kim Kaufman, I'm not quite sure what deal is with her. Apparently she was saying a whole bunch of weird, non-true things about Shanann. Probably a hater, who knows. I read a couple Reddit posts about her and a couple other people that she had a YouTube channel. It's gone. I don't know much about it, but apparently this Kim also, rumor has it, is she was working with Chris or working with NK. There's a lot of things I don't know about this woman. I'm just throwing that out there. I just want to look into it just to see what it's all about. So if you guys want to join me, I definitely ask you guys to come on, join me. Grab a chair, get comfortable. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, though, before we go any further. Make sure you guys hit the bell icon next to that subscribe button. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I posted that video. Then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys so very much for that love and support that you guys show on my channel. We're also going to be watching the video from Crime Catalyst, another YouTube channel that I definitely do enjoy. Highly speak great about this channel. She does great work as well on her videos. So watch her old stuff, watch the new stuff. You know the deal. The first video we're going to be watching is called Chris Watts, Kim Kaufman Speaks from Prison. So I'm guessing she was maybe on his list of people to talk to or see. And then another video that you wanted me to look into was Cherlyn Cadle versus Kim Kaufman. So let's take a look at these videos. So apparently this woman tried to control the narrative of what actually happened. If you're curious to see. Can't use the audio. Okay. Ah! Audio's bad. So we're just going to use this because the audio is not allowed. Yep. So there's numbnuts with number one. There's been some new info. Has there? Someone who claims to talk to Chris from prison. Chris Watts' revelations in The Reckoning. She hasn't shown her face until now. Okay. She posted a short video to reveal herself and her letters from Chris. So this is a hidden person? Why didn't I ever hear about this woman? She kind of looks like NK. Christopher, hold on. P.O. Box, Wapong. It's a big package. No audio.
Talk to Chris Watts.
Oh, okay, apparently. So we're pulling it out. She claims that pregnant Shanann was... Oh, it's one of these people. Okay, I'm going to reiterate this like I said yesterday. Shanann was not the D word. She did not have anything. The toxicology, and one of my friends that's in pathology, my goodness, stated it's because of decomp. Shanann was in the ground for almost 3 days. The 13th, the 14th, and they finally got her on the 15th at 12 o'clock at night. Shanann was not the D word. The D-R-U-N-K. I got to watch what I say on YouTube. The levels that were in her were because of decomp. I don't know where the people want to sit there, or Chris, stating that the woman was pregnant. She knew what not to put in her body, what to put in there. This is probably where we got some Shanann haters. And again, I've never met Shanann. I've never met her family. I'd love to meet them one day. But why would I sit here and defend for a family that I have no idea about? Because of justice. That's why I'm here, because I'm sick and tired of seeing people bash Shanann. And then some people are saying the girls were on something. Like, what is your end goal by saying all these nasty things about those poor children? Nico not even getting a chance to serve or be alive. Well, he was alive, but being born. And then Shanann losing her life because this douchebag dude, Chris Watsy, whatever hell his name is half the time, the silver fox, more like the silver piece of poop. Can I say that on Facebook or YouTube? I don't know. But this is where it pisses me off so much.
And like I said, the DA quickly followed up with, her friends about the alcohol content.
She did a live.
Wasn't she drunk and had oxy in her system? No oxy was found. And drunk, I clearly put that in my reenactment as a possibility because there was no explanation in the autopsy for her like there was for the girls.
What? The word alcohol is mentioned 55 times in the discovery documents.
Reports in the opinion section, if there is something that they can, explain with this, almost a certainty, they have to get on, they own that report. They've got to get up on the stand and be able to testify to what's in that report. So clearly there must have been some room for error or doubt because he did not put that in his opinion at all. He described Cece's. He said Cece's blood sample contaminated and it degraded either because the container it was in, the multiple analysis done on it, or the sample itself degraded by itself. So he explained that hers went from 99 to 174, as far as her ethanol, and he explained it there. So
is there any No! You can read it in the discovery because a decomposition body will show levels of ethanol. Okay, we're going to watch the other one first. It is probably a good idea that I've never known about this woman. I'm surprised I didn't even know. This is probably where the haters have come from. And they're trying to, I don't know. I will defend Shanann and Bella, Celeste, and Nico until NK is talked to or investigated. I love her intro. It's Crime Catalyst producer, Crime Catalyst director.
On the morning of August the 13th, 2018, Chris Watts murdered his pregnant wife Shanann and their two young daughters, Bella and Cece. He pled guilty to multiple counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to 5 life sentences.
This is what he had. How many women out there that can't have babies because of complications or they're just not able to? They would kill for these girls. Fathers would, or not fathers, but single guys out there that I know that just want a family, that would love to have a wife like Shanann, to have a kid like Cece and a adorable little girl Bella, and then a son on the way. Do you realize how many men and women out there but in the instance of this topic, men that would kill to have what Chris Watts had, but yet he goes and kills them because he wants to be with Nicole? I just don't get it. And it bothers me so much. And then you get the people out there like, apparently this Kim Kaufman, again, not coming from my mouth. It's already been plastered all over the internet. I'm just coming in late to the party of this gossip drama about this Kim Kaufman. So I guarantee there's going to be haters in the comments. Oh, Zowoki's on this girl now. I didn't know about her.
Is without the possibility of parole. From prison, he began writing to author Cherlyn Cadle. In an excerpt from one letter, Chris admits, "I can say with a certainty that I always loved Shanann and always will, but there was always this lingering fear that I would do something wrong."
Did you misrepresent the intentions of your book?
Absolutely not. And I said, well, made a deal with Christopher that there would be no money exchange between us. He can't have money anyway. And in exchange for that, I would write the story of his forgiveness and redemption in at least one chapter of the book. Christopher was never deceived. As you can see, he wrote all the letters, many, many letters to me.
Now that will be, you can put a star next to that one, because I know that one has been the question on everyone's mind is, where are the marks? Where are the scratches? Did she put up a fight? Based upon what Chris said, this is not an accurate reenactment because he said he saw Shanann's back. Clearly, this is not a view of the back.
He didn't see Shanann at all. He's a lying sack of crap. Shanann never touched the girls. Again, there's no evidence of that. But there is evidence that they collected but never had to use in a trial because Chris confessed that he murdered his wife and girls. I still think that somebody helped, but that's what we're trying to prove. We're trying to, because the people at the law firm, DA's office, don't want to look into it. So we're trying to do our diligence and try to do this, but I can tell you for 100% certainty in my body and soul and mind that I know that Shanann never touched those girls. Just from everything I've seen, I've heard, I've witnessed from professionals, non-professionals, people that knew Chris. I talked to two people that were like best friends with Chris. They have the pictures. They have the evidence to prove it. And trust me, I know how to look at Photoshop photos and see if they're real and not like real. So don't sit there and be like, oh, it could have been Photoshop. I can tell you it wasn't. I went to graphic school, graphic design and advertisement, web design, AI animation, or not AI animation, but 3D animation. I did a lot of stuff back in college. Okay. So their video or their pictures are real. And they've told me things that stuff is not true. They've told me that Nicole was involved. It's so upsetting that a lot of the stuff that I've been told and heard and talked to, I can't mention it because the people that I'm talking to are so close to NK and Chris that they don't want to be found out. You can believe me, you cannot believe me. I have nothing to prove. But the stuff that I know, it's scary. But the Ruseks know more than obviously I do. And they probably know what they were told from the authorities and stuff like that. But again, I'm not distrusting the Ruseks, but people go after the Ruseks when there's no need to go after them because they told their truth and people don't agree with it. I mean, I could go on, but
This officer, this is a side view.
We know that Kim Kaufman and
I think it was stupid too that they actually entertained the idea that Shanann did possibly murder the girls. They actually took pictures. They played it out what Chris had possibly seen. You don't see nothing.
Cherlyn Cadle, the author of Letters from Christopher, they both have two completely different accounts to what happened in this case.
I need to look into that.
If you don't know who Kim Kaufman is, she started a YouTube channel called Revelation in the Reckoning.
I thought I did see her channel at one time. I thought I've saw her channel before, but I don't know when it went out, but I swear I've seen this logo before.
Channel, she's posted several videos trying to prove that despite what Chris said in Letters from Christopher, she's now saying that Shanann was the one who killed the girls.
Shanann did nothing to her girls but love them unconditionally.
So I wanted to do a video to kind of talk about what Cadle says versus what Kim Kaufman says.
Interesting. This is probably where the haters were born from. Cherlyn Cadle.
Cadle stated that Chris would receive no money and that he had agreed to do the book as long as she told about his testimony.
But did the money go to his parents and then the parents put it on his books?
Of him coming to God and receiving forgiveness. Kim says that Chris basically just tried to recall what he had told the detectives prior when they came to Wisconsin to speak with him. She says that the author deceived Chris, that she basically threatened to not write the book if Chris didn't give her certain details about the murders.
Kim or Cherlyn?
There was a lot of controversy over this book. The author admitted to plagiarizing. She said she copied and pasted from another author and also from the Discovery. And there was also some text messages that came out between Jamie, Chris's sister, and
Cherlyn, so much
Cherlyn,
drama,
where they talked about that the money from the book would go to Chris to hire an attorney for his appeal.
which got denied.
It's kind of strange to me that if he was planning on this appeal, why would he give all these details to Cadle and allow her to publish them in this book? So I feel like
So they're saying Cherlyn Cadles book doesn't make sense? I've never actually read said book. But I've definitely watched videos of people that have. And some of it sounds right, but some of it sounds kind of sketchy though too.
in my opinion, there probably was some deception going on. But I do believe that what he wrote in those letters is probably the closest thing that we're going to get to the truth.
Until it's like 5 more years down the line and Chris wants people to talk about him again or something. Cherlyn Cadles side.
Cherlyn talks about going to visit Chris in prison, and she describes him as being a narcissist. She says that,
which I agree with,
it seemed like he actually enjoyed talking about the murders, and she says his eyes turned black, and if people weren't around her at the time, she would have been really scared of him.
Again, it's all with interpretation.
Kim Kaufman, to me, seems like she spent the last 2 years studying Chris's personality. She seems to think that he was a loving father, a loving husband. I don't understand that. I remember reading in letters from Christopher that Cindy said Chris would be in the bathroom repenting for all of his sins over and over. And Cindy said she didn't understand
That's a big
what he thought he had done wrong. And I just feel like there was probably this whole other dark side to Chris that nobody ever saw, that nobody
just
knew
hidden.
about. I think that he just hid that side of him well.
a sleeping murderer. Shanann's personality. Cherlyn Cadle's side.
Chris says Shanann was a loving mother. She was always there for her friends. She wanted to help people, and he wanted to be careful about the way that he said things because he didn't want it to seem like he was blaming Shanann at all.
I think he had it in his mind that he had to tiptoe because he didn't have to.
Kim says Shanann was bossy and controlling. She never let Chris have a say in anything. She claims that she won't tolerate anyone bashing her, but then she's trying to prove that Shanann was the one who killed the girls. She makes it pretty obvious that she's trying to paint Shanann in a bad light.
Is this where the Shanann haters were born? The finances.
In the book, Cadle says that Chris didn't know what was going on with their finances. Chris said that Shanann wouldn't let him be involved. He talked about how early in their relationship...
Sounds like 1, he doesn't have a man card. 2, he's whipped. 3, what happened to 50-50 equal, like, I'm here for you, you're here for me, or whatever have you. But there are some people out there that don't want the responsibility. They rather give it to the spouse, and the spouse takes care of everything, and they're just there as a helping hand. Chris, on the other hand, I think he thinks everything in his head, but he doesn't express it. And then when something happened like this, he's like, "Oh, people feel sorry for me. I'm the victim," kind of thing. Like, no, you're not. You wanted to get shaboinkined with NK again, over and over and over, and you wanted to do it without Shanann being around, so you murdered your family so you could be with Shanann. Or NK, sorry. Again, I don't see how people believe this.
A four-wheeler or a vehicle for less than what they owed on it. So he said that Shanann didn't trust him with their finances at all. Kim basically agrees with that. She says Chris was totally clueless when it came to their finances.
Sounds like a him problem.
She says that Shanann had told him that
my spouse, the missus, she doesn't really know about the finances in our situation because I pay for everything. Everything is taken care of. She doesn't have to really worry about much bills at all. So there's no problem with that unless you guys communicate.
That they were doing better than they had ever before. She says Chris never questioned anything and he didn't know that there were any problems. Even though Chris had to borrow from his 401k so that they could get caught up with their house payments. So I'm pretty sure he knew something. I mean,
I would have done it if I was behind. If you do anything you can to survive and protect and take care of your family. So I don't see a problem with that.
Chris just likes to play dumb.
Yeah, he does. Here we go.
In the book, Cherlyn talks about the oxy, and she says that when Chris came to North Carolina to visit with Shanann's family, that she had a headache, and he offers to give her some over-the-counter medicine, but instead he gives her an 80 milligram oxy in hopes that she will miscarry
the first attempt at murder.
the baby. And he actually says that he gives it to her a second time on the night of the murders.
But they didn't find any oxycodone in her system. Kim Kaufman again.
Kim Kaufman has stated that this just didn't happen. She says that Chris did not try to make Shanann miscarry the baby, and she just claims it didn't happen. I guess
Frankie even said he could hear her throughout the night. And I trust Frankie's. What would he have to do, or what would be the positive for him to lie? There's no reason or fault for it.
Guess she thinks that Chris just made the whole story up, but we know that the investigators found out that Chris actually did Google 80 milligram oxys.
So did NK.
In the book, Chris tells Cherlyn that he killed the girls before Shanann got home that night.
That I don't believe.
He goes into a lot of detail about it that I'm not.
I think they woke up, saw what happened, and then they had to be disposed of for not being seen.
Not going to repeat now, but he says that he thought that he killed the girls before Shanann even got home that night.
If you have to sit there and say, I thought I murdered them, then you didn't. I'm just putting that out there right now. He's trying to make this story even worse. He's playing this game for us. It's all it is an act.
And so he says when Shanann got home, they had that emotional conversation, and then he strangled Shanann.
Shanann was caught off guard.
Kim Kaufman says the night of the murders, Chris gets up to get ready for work and walks downstairs. When he walks back upstairs, he can see on the baby monitor that Shanann is leaned over top of Cece and she's actively strangling her. She says that Chris runs to Cece's room and grabs Shanann and pulls her off of her, and then Chris strangles Shanann. It's not even believable to me, because if he sees her leaned over Cece on the baby monitor, how does he know exactly what's going on?
Exactly.
I mean, I probably would have thought that
complete lie.
Shanann was just checking on Cece, and also
it could have been she was bent over and kissing them. He thought maybe because I guarantee Shanann, when she came home, she went in and checked in on her girls. She either kissed them or what have you, but I guarantee she went in there to check them. He made this remark that, oh yeah, she went in there and I could see her doing the deed. Well, one from one side of the camera that was in Bella's room was in the back. So if she was on top of Bella, she would have never seen that she was doing that act. It could have been that she was kissing her goodnight or what have you. It's complete BS. And people believe this.
How does he know that Bella's already dead in that moment? I don't understand. I think that what Kim wants us to believe is that Chris was omnipresent in this moment.
Lie.
In the book, Chris plainly states that he murdered his family so that he could be with Nicole Kessinger. He doesn't give any other reason as to why he did it. He just said that he knew he had to kill all of them so that he would be free to be with her. So Kim says that Shanann killed the girls. I don't see what motive Shanann would have to kill her own children. So I guess Kim thinks
there is no motive.
Just no motive. I really don't know.
They just kept saying it because she did it to punish Chris.
In the book, Chris says that he drags Shanann's body down the stairs, puts her in his truck.
Which we
he
never
gets
see.
the girls and puts them in the truck, which he says that they are alive. And he drives out to Survey 19. He says he strangles the girls for the second time, but this time he kills them. And he puts the girls'
They weren't
bodies
strangled, it was
in the old
smothered.
tanks, one in each tank. And then he buries Shanann in a shallow grave.
See what she says.
Kim says that Chris loads all of the bodies up and puts them in his truck because at
We can see the little shadows underneath the truck, you Nimrod.
this point she says that everyone is dead. And then he drives to Survey 19, and she doesn't dispute anything about the disposal of the bodies, but she says that Chris told Ronnie, "Dad, I could not put them with her. After what she did to them, she was evil."
She was not evil. There's never any evidence.
I don't know if I believe that Chris really said that to Ronnie, because that was a big question that everybody had when this first happened, was why did Chris put the babies in the oil tanks? And it seems like when Cindy gave interviews that she would have let people know that. In the book, Chris says that he loves Nicole. He says he still loves her.
That's
and
gross.
He says that he believes that Nikki is his soulmate. And after he murdered his family, after it was all over with, he said that all that he could think was, now I'm free to be with Nikki. Kim doesn't really want to talk about Nicole Kessinger. She
I wonder why.
states that Nikki had absolutely nothing to do with the murders.
Okay.
There's rumors that Kim could be related or even was neighbors
I heard
with
working.
Nikki at the time. She did give us a little hint in her recent interview with Ronnie, where she said that Chris had said to his dad, "I should have just went to the Rockies game." And it just makes me wonder if maybe Nikki gave him an ultimatum that night. Something definitely happened on that night that changed everything.
I feel like we're right
I want
there.
to point out something. In the book, Cadle asks Chris to describe Nicole Kessinger, and he points her to a Bible verse. He says Psalms 7:5-27, and I just want to read that to you guys. It says, "They will keep you from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words. At the window of my house I looked down through the lattice. I saw among the simple, I noticed among the young men a youth who had no sense. He was going down the street near her corner, walking along in the direction of her house. At twilight, as the day was fading, as the dark of night set in, then out came a woman to meet him, dressed like a prostitute and with crafty intent. She is ruly and defiant. Her feet never stay at home. Now in the streets, now in the squares, at every corner she lurks. She took hold of him and kissed him, and with a brazen face she said, 'Today I have fulfilled my vows, and I have food from my fellowship offering at home. So I come out to meet you. I looked for you, and I have found you. I have covered my bed with colored linens from Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's drink deeply of love till morning. Let's enjoy ourselves with love. My husband is not at home. He has gone away on a long journey. He took his purse filled with money and will not be home till full moon.' With persuasive words she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer stepping into a noose,
It's the only thing that I agree with Chris Watts.
till an arrow pierces his liver like a bird darting into a snare, little knowing it will cost him his life. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her path. Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death.
Ooh, I've gotten chills on this one. I think we need to look into more of what Miss Kim Kaufman is saying. I believe that she is pretty much sounds the way. Again, I'm not saying it. It's what I've been hearing in this video, is that she was trying to control the narrative and make Shanann look bad this entire time, possibly helping out the Watts family, trying to get Chris out and so forth. But I don't know. What is your guys' thoughts on this video? The whole information on Kim Kaufman. Do you think we need to look into some of the videos of apparently Kim Kaufman's take on Chris Watts? I know you guys wanted me to do the whole Cherlyn Cadle, which I did, and now I can definitely look into the whole Kim Kaufman version side of things, but again, we probably won't agree at all. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon next to it. Don't forget to go over to Crime Catalyst as well and give her the exact same love you have shown me. And we will see you guys in the next one. Please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.